Alright, so what is up, everybody? Let's see if we have some people in here now. Live dashboard. Let's see. Got it. Alright, what's up, everybody? Faded Jack says, saw the Insta story. Jax Nation says, yo, what's up, Devin? Devin and Evan are in the building. Jet Central, good win today. Hey, the Jaguars did win today. With the Rams losing and with the Colts losing, so wasn't too bad. Faded Jag, Jamar, Mr. BWX, Brett James, what is up, man? What up, Blaux? What's happening? Seabreeder said, did you see what I sent you on Insta? I haven't seen it yet. I just I'll have to take a look at that. Hold on real quick. I am going to share this on my Twitter. And if you guys want, I just shared the stream on Twitter. If you guys want to retweet that or let everyone know on Instagram that I am live. But yeah, what's going on, everybody? I haven't made a video in a little bit, primarily just because I was very busy at work last week, and it's just a bye week. So just taking a little bit of time off just because of that, because it's been a little bit of a slow news week. C Skizzy with the $4 donation. He says, Duval. Thank you so much for the donation, man. But yeah, the Jaguars, obviously, they're just coming off of the bye week, and I'll be honest with you guys, man, the Jaguars, they really disappointed me last week. Just last week in London, I was just so thoroughly disappointed by the performance out on the field, just what that game meant and where it would have put us. I mean, if you look at this game right now, if the Jaguars win last week against Houston, they are tied for first place in the AFC South. Tied for first place. But since we lost it, we are now fourth place in the AFC South. Dead last. I mean, we had the worst record. We're not even last by tiebreaker. We are literally at the bottom. So it's like, every time I get my hopes up for this team and say, we need to take this next step, we need to do it, we go out there and just throw up a complete stinker. And, it had me a little bit down. Not going to lie. However, the Jaguars are still in this. I mean, the season is still very much alive, whether it be the division race or the wild card race. Obviously, the Colts have just lost 2 in a row, and they lost to freaking Miami. I understand Brian Hoyer is playing, but that is not a good showing out there by them to do that. So, but the Titans did win today also, man. The Chiefs did not throw us any bones this year. Chiefs went 1-3 against the AFC South this year. Of course, the one win came week 1 where our boy Nick Foles got hurt. So it wasn't too bad. Then yeah, the Rams lost. That's a big thing. It's really seeming like it's going to be really tough for the Rams to get into the playoffs, just with the really tough NFC that they're in. I mean, just in their division, they have the 49ers who are undefeated, and they have the Seahawks. And just around, you have the Vikings, you have the Packers. You have kind of good teams all over the place. The Saints, Carolina lost today, but it's going to be tough for them to be able to get in there. So if they don't make the playoffs, then we are locked in for a top 20 draft spot with the Rams, and that would be very nice. I want that pick to be as high as possible. So hopefully they finish like 7-9 or something. So the big thing coming up this week, guys, is that Nick Foles is coming back. Nick Foles is coming back, and obviously we were hearing about Nick Foles the whole entire offseason just because this was the big free agent signing. This was the big new quarterback that was coming in. The Jaguars had been recycling out bad quarterbacks, whether it be going from Blaine Gabbert to Chad Henne to Blake Bortles to Cody Kessler with a little bit of Todd Bowman sprinkled in there. So Nick Foles is coming back, and we'll see what Nick Foles has to contribute to this team. I mean, Eagles fans are all out here telling me that this dude is the best thing since sliced bread. Obviously he's had kind of his ups and downs throughout his career, but his last 2 seasons were some of the best seasons that Nick Foles has had, and he's going into really the best time of his career, or I guess his best part of the season, I should say, and that's like toward the end of it where he starts to play clutch and starts to win must-win games. The Jaguars need some kind of spark right now on their team. Like, I look at it, and I do generally like this roster. I like the team. I like how much they really fight out there. It does look like every game they are giving their 100%, but there's just something missing. There's some kind of spark. And, as good as Minshew was, like the first several games of the season, like these last couple games, I thought he did go downhill a little bit. And one big thing that a lot of people are saying is that, oh, Nick Foles is not going to be able to survive behind this offensive line. Our offensive line is so bad, he's not going to be able to withstand that. But honestly, the pass blocking of our offensive line is not very bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's really the run blocking that's a lot worse. And really, a lot of times these last couple of games, it would seem like Gardner Minshew had like a 3-second clock. He'd be like 1, 2, 3, and then he'd like look to start scrambling. And a lot of times he was doing that when the pocket was completely clean. So I don't really know what was going on with that, but I think it will be good for Gardner Minshew to sit for a little bit. I think it's good for him to sit and see things from a different spot. See things from a bench, so now he can see, when Nick Foles comes to the sidelines, how does he react after, an interception, or, what can he tell me that he saw out on the field that, maybe I didn't see. I don't know, like, it could be good with that. And, like, the Jaguars right now, like I said, we need some kind of spark. I really think that the Jags need to go 6-1 the rest of the way. Maybe there may be some leeway and you can go 5-2, but man, like, I think 6-1 gets you in there. Now, it's a lot easier said than done, and I'm not going to be out here saying, oh, well, guys, if we beat the Colts next week, and then if we beat the Titans the week after, and then, no, it's one game at a time. Like, I remember saying, even after the Jaguars lost to the Saints, I was like, look, guys, we have 3 more games to save our season. We have to beat the Bengals, we have to beat the Jets, and then we were right there. We had beaten both, and I said, and we have to beat the Texans before the bye. We did not beat the Texans, and that puts us in a much tougher spot. It really does. It's because, like I said, we're right now, that game took us from first place in the AFC South to dead last in the AFC South. It was just so important, and it's also a divisional game, and divisional games, division record determines tiebreakers, whether it be in your own division or whether it be the wild card spot. That determines the tiebreaker. So it's tricky and it sucks. But I mean, I'm not gonna be trying to get you guys down. I'm gonna tell you guys my true honest opinion and stuff. But we are still very much in this. Do I have faith? I don't know. They're gonna have to prove it to me first. But we'll see. Just so you guys know, I am reading comments, but I'm going to be getting to comments to like the questionnaire part at the end of this live show, podcast, video, whatever you want to call it. But I will say, if you guys have a question right now, I will read super chats if you guys throw that in there. Not to e-beg or anything, but if you guys absolutely want a question read, I'll definitely look at the super chats. But yeah. And Nick Foles right now, one thing that you saw about him was, man, that and once again, no disrespect to Gardner Minshew at all, but that last play that he had, the play that he got injured, that like rainbow pass that he had way deep into the end zone, that touchdown pass, that was a better throw than Nick Foles, or than Gardner Minshew had his whole entire time on the Jaguars. I mean, just the pure throw when it comes to the air put under the ball, the accuracy. I mean, I just don't think Gardner Minshew would actually have. I don't know if he'd had the arm strength to do that, and I don't know if he's at the point where he can do that just yet. But there's a lot of positives to look around him coming back. The Colts and Texans, or the Colts and Titans, those are our next 2 divisional games. These teams really don't have any playbook out on Nick Foles. And, John D. Filippo was the guy that worked with Nick Foles, and he had a plan for Nick Foles this season. Obviously, it got completely shifted once the whole, injury went down. But, he knows how to use him. He has a plan for him, and I'm really interested to see, what this looks like now that Nick Foles is going to come back, just because I'm really hoping that this is our missing spark. Like I said, man, the the Jaguars need some kind of spark. Like I feel like the roster is good and everything. Last game, I think the offensive play calling really took us down out of that Texans game. Like I put a lot of the blame on that just because we called the play like a bunch of amateurs and like we were scared. It wasn't good. So I don't know. Now some things that I do want to see kind of going into these next few games is that, well, first of all, one thing I want to see, like one thing I was a little disappointed about the bye week to me is I really thought that maybe there was a chance we could have extended Yannick Ngakoue. Like with Jalen Ramsey not being in there anymore, we don't have to account for his contract when it comes to budgeting and stuff like that. And I really don't think that the Jaguars really need to be huge free agency buyers in this upcoming free agency period. But man, like that's your homegrown talent. Like if this season ends and Yannick Ngakoue is on another team in 2020, we will look back and say we somehow were not able to keep, Jalen Ramsey and Yannick Ngakoue. I think that would be it'd be a huge blunder. Like I really do think so. Just a couple of really good guys that have made Pro Bowls, that have been all pro considerations. Jalen Ramsey was all pro, but to not get that out of it, I don't know. And I know another thing that like right now with the way what the Jaguars are doing, they are very much playing for their, like Doug Marrone is playing for his job. I think I really think that Doug Marrone is playing for his job just because the amount of money that Shad Khan has spent, and Shad Khan, you can tell by what he's saying to the media, he's getting more and more just. It seems like he's getting a lot more impatient. Like it really seems like he's getting impatient, especially with the latest things that he said to the media, which I will go over a little bit later. Just Shad Khan's comments about just the city of Jacksonville and London and all that stuff. But like I think Doug Marrone is, if he goes 8-8, there's a very good chance that he's out of here. Now there were some circumstances about Doug Marrone that sucked, like the whole like losing the starting quarterback week one of your best players over here, throwing bitch fits on the sidelines and demanding to get traded, and just all that stuff. It was working against him. But with Doug Marrone, like it's so tough. Like when you look at it, because I really think that Doug Marrone, like I think he's better than an average coach. I think he's slightly above average. But the thing is, like we need a great head coach. Like we need, like you look around and you see, the John Harbaugh, like you can mention Bill Belichick, whatever. I'm just leaving him out of it. But you look at like other guys that win all over the place. Like the Ravens behind John Harbaugh just have a great organization. They may have a losing year, but like they don't really have consecutive back-to-back losing years. And you look over at them and see what they're a team that said, look, we don't need Joe Flacco. We need to learn how to get better from Joe Flacco. They did that. They drafted Lamar Jackson, and he's been a complete stud this year. You also look at the Steelers with Mike Tomlin. They looked down, the Steelers did, but now I think they have a winning record now. I think they're 5-4 after beating the Rams today, which is crazy. Mike Tomlin, they just have that winning thing. Like even over the Seahawks with like Pete Carroll. The Seahawks are winning every year, even though. What the heck? Did I just time out? Can you guys hear me? It looks like it's buffering. Video output low. Can you guys hear me okay? Alright, we good? I'm back up. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, we hear you. Okay. I don't know. My YouTube isn't reacting very well. But what was I talking about? Yeah, Doug Marrone, like he is like I said, man. I think he's like a slightly above average head coach, but we need to get a coach that can bring in like a winning culture that can, sustain winning. And like, but the thing is, it's so tough with Doug Marrone because the thing is, like, if you fire him, there's a very good chance that you're not going to be bringing in a head coach that is nearly as good as him. You could be severely downgrading, and then that could hurt your team a lot because, he's done some good things in the NFL. This is his 5th year, I think, as a head coach. He had 2 in Buffalo. This is his 3rd in Jacksonville. He had a winning record in Buffalo. His first 2 years, he led the Jaguars to the AFC Championship game. This year, he could end up winning, like being at 9-7. So it's tricky. It's tough to know what we need to do with him. But really, the main thing, like I'm thinking about, is Tom Coughlin, because the culture right now does not seem to be like a culture that should be right now in a millennial atmosphere, just because, whether it be free agent recruiting or just overall morale in the locker room. Like, I don't know how much Tom brings it. I just hear Tom Coughlin is a complete asshole. Obviously, it's pretty clear that he's the one that led Jalen Ramsey out of there. And, also there's a lot of rumors that the reason why Telvin Smith isn't playing, why he, retired for a year, is because of Tom Coughlin. He retired less than a week after Tom Coughlin called them out at the state of the franchise. And when you look at that on paper, each has its different story, but the factual thing about it is that the Jaguars had two All-Pros on the team 2 years ago that were non-existent on the Jaguars as the roster stands in 2019. Neither of them were on the active roster. Those are 2 All-Pro players that, this guy at the very top is driven out of the organization. And it could start to begin to be more than that. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times when you have these very good players, they're going to have their own, egos, and you're going to have to kind of pamper around them a lot. But, and it's tough because really, when you look at the way the Jags have been drafting, like, the past few drafts has actually been pretty good. Like the 2019 or 2018 draft class. Taven Bryan has been doing a lot better. Now, granted, I know we passed on Lamar Jackson. I'm tired of hearing it every day. It happened. Was it a mistake? Yes. It was a mistake drafting Fournette over Mahomes and Watson. But look, move on, whatever. But, they drafted Taven Bryan. He was a very good, he's been doing a lot better this year. DJ Chark in his 2nd year, he's been doing really good. Ronnie Harrison has been a good player. Even Will Richardson at the interior of the offensive line has been doing really good in there. You also look around, this year's draft, Juwan Taylor's a stud. Josh Allen's a stud. Like, the past few drafts have been pretty good, but, I wonder how involved, Tom Coughlin is on the whole, player acquisition side of it. Like, is he helping a lot when it comes to scouting players and, coming out with player grades? Is it Dave Caldwell and Tom Coughlin both up there, as a 2-headed duo kind of doing it? Or is it more like, okay, this is Dave Caldwell's work, here's what I have to present to you. Tom Coughlin has final say, so maybe he vetoes it, whatever. I don't know. Nobody really knows, not even the Jacksonville media who's there every day. And I sure as hell don't know it out here in Orlando. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting. So, but yeah, but some things I do want to see, man. We got to. I'd like to change up our running game a little bit, man. I'm getting so sick and tired of just these 2nd and 10s, and you come out there with 2 tight ends and a single back set under center, and you just hand off up the middle and get nothing, no yards. That's been driving me absolutely nuts. I don't know. The play calling, man, I guess I'm just resorting to that Texans game. That was just a horrible day for play calling, but, I'd like to see us do more runs out of shotgun, maybe even some more swing passes, get Fournette open in space. I'd also even like to see some more, some more bubble screens. I feel like with our wide receivers right now, we have a bunch of really good blocking, screen blocking, run blocking wide receivers, downhill blocking wide receivers. Chris Conley's very good at it. DJ Chark is very good at it. Keelan Cole is extremely good at it. And if we were to do something like that and get it out to D.D. Westbrook, I think it would be, something new and something interesting. I like to find new ways to use D.D. Westbrook because I think he's a stud in open space and he's a really tough guy. I really like D.D. Westbrook, so I like to find maybe more ways to kind of get him the ball. And, maybe even do some more reverses. I love the reverse play where they go back and, like, the quarterback takes a snap and just kind of pitches it forward. I'd like to see some more of that. And, it also strains the defense a little bit when you're running them sideline to sideline. So, that's just some more things I'd want to add to the offense. But, any way that we can get Leonard Fournette the ball in space, I think it's going to be good. But right now, though, I do want to get into Shad Khan's statements. He had an interview, I think on the Jags. I think it was on the Jags team website. I forget where, but he kind of talked about the city of Jacksonville, and the London games and stuff like that. But the one of the main things that he said is that there's really no demand for pro football in Jacksonville. And I hate this statement. I really do. And the Jaguars fans, we get a really really bad rap. Like I really do think that we do, just because when you see what we do, man, the Jaguars, they've just been losing the whole entire last 10 years. When the Jaguars win, they show up. I saw a video just the other day where it was like, where a bunch of Jags fans were in the Jags stadium after they had beat the Steelers, and they were on the Jaguar stadium. They packed it in there and welcomed the team back. We are so starving for good football, and we're starving for consistent winning football. It's just true state of the fact. Hey, Charlie Boy with a $2 donation says, what position should we get at the draft? Really, what I would want is just go for best available player. I don't want to be saying that, we need a tight end really bad. We need it in the first round, and then we pass up a great talent. It happened this year. We really needed a tight end. Everybody wanted Hawkinson. That was going to be the pick, but when you have a guy like Josh Allen sitting there, you go after a player like that. And even, if you look at the Packers, they didn't need a quarterback way back in the day. They had Brett Favre, but the fact that Aaron Rodgers slid to the 20s, they went and got him. Now it's going to be a different situation with the Jaguars, but I would want best available player all day. We don't have any huge holes, but we can definitely get better at pretty much all spots of the ball. So that's mainly what I would want to do. Just go best available player and stack up your roster with a lot of good talent. But Shad Khan said that there's no demand for football in Jacksonville, and like I said, man, the team, they just want winning football. I've seen the Jaguars pack the house during the Jaguars versus Seahawks game in 2017, the Buffalo Bills playoff game. It was just packed in there. And, week 2 of the 2018 NFL season against the Patriots, that game was packed and we won, and it was so exciting. And if the Jaguars win, people will go to these games. But I am one person that has been to all the Jaguars home games except for the Thursday night Titans game, and there are games that it's just so hot there. And when you go to the game against the Chiefs and you go there and you just get your ass whooped and you're sitting there in the just 90 plus degree heat, it's miserable. When you go to the New Orleans Saints game and the Jaguars put up 3-7, I forget how many points we put up. I think we put up 9 points. And, you're just sitting there and there's nothing to cheer about and you're in a hot weather. It's just not fun. It's so much easier when you're inside your house and you can have one TV on the Jags game. You can have another game looking at Red Zone. You can have your refrigerator right there. You can be in, the AC. It's just the Jaguars, if they were consistently winning, people would come. And, they obviously need some stadium upgrades. I think down in Miami it was huge getting that roof over the field, and I think the Jaguars, once we go through some stadium renovations, they are probably due to get a new stadium soon. It's a true state of the fact. I mean, I think the Jaguars have the second or third oldest stadium in the NFL, and it's definitely getting a little bit outdated. So The Jaguars, I mean, they'll probably need to build a new stadium soon, but yeah, that's a big thing. They say there's no demand for pro football in the NFL. There's a demand for winning football. If the Jaguars win, we will come. I can guarantee you that. And yeah, then he also stated that the city can't support 8 home games, which is why they send one game to London. And then he almost opened the door that there could be more games to go to London, maybe even more home games. Now, here's my thing. Would I want the Jaguars to have 2 home games in London? Like, I absolutely would not. I wouldn't. It would suck. But at the same time, the thing that would suck the most is that if the Jaguars were to ever move away from Jacksonville full time, that would be the worst thing ever. I would way, way, way rather have 2 home games in London than for all of our home games to be taken away and we're stripped of the Jacksonville title. That would completely break my heart. So, if, I'm not the financial guy, I'm not President Mark Lamping, I'm not the director of finance operations. I don't dig deep into the how much this game actually means financially for the Jaguars, but if it makes that much more viable to stay in Jacksonville with adding another home game in London, then whatever. I'm here. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Thank you guys all for staying, man. We're back. All right, cool. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but I really do appreciate all you guys for being in here. Let's see how let's see what my numbers are at right now. We've got 65 people watching, it says. But yeah, man, if you guys want to, definitely drop a like if you guys are enjoying this, man. Just talking Jags football. So yeah, and Shad Khan also hinted at the fact that there's not really much to do downtown. A lot of the decision makers on what to do with the city of Jacksonville, they just want to come. They just come and they want to get the hell out. I mean, this downtown Jacksonville is kind of a sad place. It almost seems like a ghost town. It's there's really just not much to do down there. And I don't live in downtown Jacksonville, so I don't know exactly what there is, but it just feels unsafe when you're around there. It's just, it's not like a typical downtown where there's all these nice shops you can go to and, you can go shopping, you can go get your Starbucks. Like, I don't think there's a single Starbucks in downtown Jacksonville. And, you go to other places and there's one at every block. So, it's, they want to develop more of a, the place close to the stadium, maybe get that, a little bit nicer and build a nice hotel and, make some, I don't know. You go to, yeah. Did people get robbed in Jacksonville? That would suck, but yeah. So, I mean, the city of Jacksonville definitely has some issues. I would almost, I don't know. I just want the team to stay in Jacksonville. I'm not the director of business operations anywhere, so I don't know the perfect way to fix it, but it really does seem like something needs to go down. But yeah, we just got to win, baby, win. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of made my main points. Like, really, the Jaguars are the team to stay in it, man. Let's go 6-1 down the stretch. Let's win the rest of our division games, and then we can get into the playoffs. I'm going to be in a situation where I'm expecting the worst but hoping for the best. I think as a Jags fan, that almost has to be your mentality so you don't get let down too much. But yeah, a lot of people saying. But yeah, I'll get to y'all's questions now, so definitely drop them down here. Grop always says downtown is sad. It really is. City is too violent, says John. Dania says, do you think the Jags should be able to win in Week 11? Well, the Jags play the Colts Week 11. And the Jaguars historically have actually played very well against the Colts. We've won 3 out of the last 4. Last time they played Jacoby Brissett, we tortured him. We got all kinds of sacks on him. Now, granted, he's a lot better quarterback than he was 2 weeks ago. And, he might not even be playing. Brian Hoyer was playing. And a Brian Hoyer-led Colts just lost to the Dolphins. So any team has a chance to beat them. But we very much have a chance. Fada says the schedule isn't too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. It really isn't. So hopefully we can win some games, get into this damn playoffs. Evan says the only other place I think we could move stadiums would be near St. John's, kind of near Top-Off. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. Charlie Boy says at least Orange Park is nice. I used to live in Orange Park. Gary says rep your shirt this weekend. Any merch news? Oh yeah, guys. Gary bought himself a shirt. He also got an autograph along with it. If you guys are interested in buying a shirt from me, there's a link down below with the description. You know, Charlie Boy bought one from me. C. Skidsy bought one too, so it's definitely cool, man. Justin Santa Maria with a $2 donation says predictions for Telvin next year. I mean, I would think he comes back in some capacity. You know, whether it be he comes to the Jaguars. I don't know if the Jaguars with Tom Coughlin would trust him or if they want to trade him away to get that contract off of the books since we already paid Miles Jack a lot of money. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I hope that he can come play and play at a high level. But, I mean, I think for him to play for the Jaguars, I think Tom Coughlin would have to be out of there. But, I mean, for his own good, come back and make some money, man. You're leaving a lot of money out on the line not playing, you know. I know he looks really skinny right now. There's a picture of him at Rains High School on the sidelines, and he just looked extremely skinny. So, got to gain some weight, but, you know, he's a guy that's always played pretty light. Gamble says, which is a better neighborhood, Riverside or Avondale? Isn't that the same exact place? Or Riverside might be a little more northeast. I don't know. We'll see. Garrett says, PSA, we need the Jaguars to win against the Colts next week. Please and thank you. Sincerely, Titans fan. Oh, what's going on, Garrett? Yeah, I'm sure all of the AFC South will be cheering for the Jaguars next week, I guess. So, that's just the state of it, man. Arturo says, what's up, UCF? Love your videos, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Oh, Gamble says he's just trolling. Captain says, howdy. Thought I missed the whole stream. No, you were here. We've had a few difficulties when it comes to getting offline and online, but, you know, it's all good. Curtis says, do you think Kyle Pitts from Florida has enough draft stock to get drafted, or does he need another year in college? I'll be honest with you, I haven't been following college football too much. I don't know about a lot of the prospects. I've been busier than I've ever been this fall with work, and, you know, I'm going to be starting school again soon, so it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a lot of stuff for me. So I pay more attention. You know, I watch all of UCF's games, and I watch some of the bigger college football games, but I don't know a lot of the draft prospects. JackFan85 says, happy birthday, Dalton. Yeah, man, my birthday's at midnight tonight. I'm turning the big 2-6. This is 6 in sign language, so 2-6. So yeah, getting older, guys, getting older. Bling Bling says, leave Coffin. Doug Marone needs to go. He's too soft. Yeah, I feel you on that. Jack fan says, need to look at the wideouts from Alabama. Dude, you always need to be looking at Alabama guys. Alabama guys do work. That's a fact. Captain says, what school are you going to? I'll be going to DeVry online. Going to try to get my CPA license. Overbank says, moving a stadium to St. John's Town Center would be a logistical disaster. Yeah, I don't know how it'd work. They could make something work, I guess, if it was right out the interstate, and they'd have to cut down some woods, but yeah. Someone just subscribed to me. Oh yeah, Archer Barrett just subscribed. Shout out to you, man. Youngin says, go Jags, please make the playoffs. I know, man. Let's make the damn playoffs. Hey, David Bryan with a $5 donation. He put down a dancing plum emoji. So, appreciate the donation, man. Appreciate the support. David from up in the Northeast. I think Pennsylvania. Jamar says, love the weird shape of Florida. Looks like a gun or an upside-down boot or one of the following. Gatsby says, C.D. Lamb from Oklahoma. He's our guy. Is he? Garrett says, Dalton, if you're interested, I got an extra ticket for the Jags-Titans game in Nashville. Would love to hang out and watch some football. Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't know if I'll be able to make that. I'd have to check air flights. It'd have to be like a night or day trip. I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate the offer. Henry says, what are your predictions for the Jaguars' second half of the season? Ooh. I don't know. I would love to say I think we go 6-1, but I just don't feel it, man. I just don't feel like this Jaguar team will just be able to rally off win after win after win. Just seeing the way we've been, we haven't had a winning record all year, so I don't know. I'll say we go 4-3 down the stretch, and we end off the season 8-8 because we just look like an 8-8 team. We look like a very average 8-8 team, and hopefully, we can get in some talent. We can find some. Hey, shout out to Rachel for the subscription, and we can, find some good talent to help improve us. So yeah, Trainer says I say Foles goes 7-1 and we make the playoffs. I hope so, man. I hope. I would love to be extremely optimistic, but I would be being fake if I was, and I let you guys know my completely honest opinion about everything, no matter what, and that's just how I feel. And hopefully, I'm going into it hoping for the worst, or expecting the worst, but hoping for the best. You know what I mean? Jeez, the lag is so bad. Am I good, guys? This lag is driving me nuts. Alina's dad says, next year is our year. That is the motto. Next year is our year. Always. Daniel says, do you think that the Jags should sign Antonio Brown? Absolutely not. I don't know. He's too much of a head case right now for me, I'll be honest with you. Groff says, we have some weak competition. We definitely do. Even though some of the teams are getting better. Like the Chargers have been winning, or I think they've been looking a little bit better. Man, this is driving me nuts with this. And the Falcons, we played them, but they won today. They beat the Saints today, which is very strange. We have the Colts twice. They're a decent team. I mean, we'll see. It doesn't seem like we're playing a lot of elite teams, but we've definitely got we've got some decent competition. Jag fan says not a lot of drama. Yeah, we don't need AP. The guy's a nutcase. Remus says, Duval, I just got back from the fair. Ooh, the fair's in Jacksonville. That's what's up. Lowell to Houston, what up, man? He's a Houston Texans YouTuber, so if you guys want to check him out, go ahead and do so. Trainer Blue says, Foles does great at the end of the year. Let's hope he can do the same for Jayville. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Bassican says, what's up, boss? You think Foles can overcome the division? We'll see. I think he definitely has the talent to. I think he's a really good quarterback. He's a very fun quarterback to cheer for. And I really hope that he's everything that Eagles fans have been telling me that he is. But as a Jaguar fan, we just get let down so much. So, we'll see. Gatsby says, if Foles goes 0-3, do you move back to Minshew? Honestly, with me, I hope that if the Jaguars are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs in week 16, I hope Minshew gets the final 2 starts. I think it'd be cool for him to play and then sit and then, just play again to get him some more, see if he learned anything from sitting down. I just think it'd be the experience from games that don't mean anything are going to mean a lot more to Minshew than it would Foles, who's started a whole bunch of games in his career. Jason says, what's up, UCF? Hope you're doing good. Appreciate that, man. I hope you're doing even better. I hope all you guys are doing good. We got Veterans Day coming up tomorrow, 3-day weekend for a lot of us. I know I'll be doing some wakeboarding tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. Kyle says, keep your head up, Jags fans. Keep our heads up. Yo, we're in this together. We will cheer together. We will cry together. I'll be going live for the next 2 games. So if you guys come in there, you guys can have someone to cheer with. You can also have somebody to, get frustrated with. I'm here for you guys, man. I will be your comfort blanket during the Jaguars' good and bad times. Justin says, this year's draft predictions and what position we should be scouting. I mean, we could use help all over. There's no position that's safe. We could use more, tight ends, running backs, offensive line needs some help. You always need to get at least one defensive lineman in every draft, linebacker, defensive. I mean, we could go any position right now. Like, and I don't think that any position is that bad. Like, I mean, maybe tight end right now there's a hole, but Josh Oliver, he's played 3 games so far. He's had his bye week. Hopefully, he can make a lot of impact in the second half of the year. But we could be upgrading at every single spot. So I don't think any spot is necessarily like is safe right now. So just best available player. Kyle says, Bortles took a snap for the Rams today. He wasn't ready for the snap and missed the handoff. Yeah, it was pretty funny. They did like an RPO, and he wasn't ready for it, and he ran the ball. Tucked his head down. They could use Bortles like a real Taysom Hill. Just joking. But it'd be funny, though. Bassican says, hell yeah, Jaguars all day, baby. What happened to the Colts quarterback? We definitely have a chance. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, I don't know if he's going to be coming back next week or not. I think it's going to be day-to-day. But I think ultimately he will not play because it was an MCL thing. It sounds like they're kind of downplaying the severity of it. But, I mean, I couldn't imagine playing 2 weeks after that kind of injury. I would hope that we're playing against Brian Hoyer. And if we play against Brian Hoyer, we just have such a better chance. Even though this year the backup quarterback, we lost to Teddy Bridgewater. We lost to Kyle Allen. We've been losing to some backup quarterbacks, so. Henry says, Chiefs are the most sorry team out there. Yeah. They did not throw us any bones this year. That's a damn fact. JackFam1324 says, we said about Houston and the injuries on their defense, and they still torched us. I know. That's what drove me so nuts about that game, and that's what shot my confidence. Like, we played against an injured Houston Texans team, and they just they made us look like we don't belong in the same league as them. And Deshaun Watson is so good, and we didn't test out their secondary at all. And I hope with DeFilippo and Nick Foles, they can find the mojo and they can play well together. I'm really hoping for that. But good news today though is that the Rams lost, so that's gonna. Man, I'm so hoping the Rams miss the playoffs and we get 2 just really good draft spots in the top 20. Wouldn't that be interesting if the Jaguars had like the 16th and 17th pick and we're literally drafting like back to back? Would be funny. Arturo is a Texans fan. I got all kinds of Texans fans on this channel. Nothing but love, guys. Pearl says, that's good to know, man. I love you. I love you, bro. Love you too, man. We appreciate you. Lamar versus Watson. Ooh, that's a good game. Yeah, the Texans have a tough schedule coming up. The Texans have to play, I think they play the Ravens. Then the following week they play the Colts. And then the following week they play the Patriots. So that's a tough 3-game stretch. That's for sure. Jamar says, me too. I want Ramsey to suffer on the Rams. Yeah, man. I want them to lose all their games because of draft position, first of all, and because fuck Jalen Ramsey. It's a straight up fact of it. Minnesota touchdown, but I've been live for 43 minutes. I'll do this for another 7 minutes. I'll let it run to 50 minutes, and then we can turn this into a podcast, and then people can enjoy it later. And it's gonna be a good time for everybody all around. But hey, guys, if you aren't already, man, definitely like the stream. And if you guys aren't following me on social media, man, I have my Twitter and Instagram links down below. I try to stay very active on those sites. You guys can always shoot me DMs, and I'll respond. So definitely look out for me. Look out for me on both of those things, man. I hope everyone's fantasy teams are doing good today. I've got a couple games going on. Elliott's got me 6.5 points. Not good enough. Not good enough. But back to the chat. Cody says, do you think my Pitbull stables it's going to make the playoffs the way they're playing? If it means Pittsburgh Steelers, then they got a good chance. I mean, they're playing at a high level, even though today, was definitely a defensive struggle. I mean, that Minka Fitzpatrick thing was really good, and they're holding teams down. So they have a very good chance, man. They're right back into it. Charlie Boy says, just stay on until 10:30 Central Time. I'm still working. Yeah. Eric says, we getting all our injured players back on this bye. Let's go Texans. Yeah. Getting a lot of players back. Jamar says Jets beat the Giants. Yeah, a lot of weird games today, man. The Dolphins beat the Colts. I think, and even weirder was probably the Falcons beating the Saints. That was pretty crazy. So I mean, and it was honestly, I watched Red Zone all day today, and there were so many good games on. I mean, even as a just an NFL fan, the Titans Chiefs game was really good. I mean, there were all kinds of close games. Even that, the Panthers, the final minutes of that, it was snowing. They were leading the thing all the way down. It was crazy. Aaron Flo says the Jaguar podcast would be lit, bro. Yeah, I've tried to do podcasts. My thing about podcasts, it's tough because, like, you have to coordinate with other people. And if I have a guest on, we have to always make sure to, our schedules open up at the same time. And honestly, like, I do YouTube videos whenever I get free time. Because I don't have a lot of free time. And my free time is going to go down even more in January once I go back to school. And, I pop on here and do videos whenever I get free time. And, and I like, this is my form of a podcast, what's going on right here. I can go live for an hour. I can, say what I want to say. And at the end, I can answer y'all's questions, And, if you miss a live stream, you can watch it tomorrow. Hour, it's a good podcast listen. So I think this way is pretty cool. David says Marquise Lee and Keelan Cole are on a bubble. Yeah, I mean, Marquise Lee will definitely get cut, I think. Oh my gosh. Guys, am I live? This is very much annoying. Can you guys see me? Let me know. Am I offline? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the... Yeah, I may have to get off soon. It's kind of ruining the... I don't know what's wrong with the internet connection. Jamar says, I think we need a whole new team, but we still have full... I mean, we got some good building blocks. We have some good guys on their rookie contracts that are playing at good levels. Like, this isn't a bad team where we have to completely strap and, like, rebuild. It's not like that. Like, we have some good pieces. We got 2 good quarterbacks. So, I think it's all about getting the coaching in here, getting the, right players in the right situations. We need to figure some things out, but we just need a spark. We're like a spark away from, being a great team. I just don't know what that spark is. I think it might be coaching. It could be a little bit of Tom Coughlin and the culture that he's set in. I don't know what it is, but we definitely need to figure it out. But Jack fan says, Bucks game, are you going? I will be going to that game. Someone actually hooked me over free tickets to that game, which is awesome. But I'll probably end this at 50 minutes before it cuts out again. But I just want to say thank you to everybody so much for coming in here and watching the stream, whether it be live or whether you be watching after it's already over on a podcast level. So, a big shout out to all you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the super chats. We had, let's see. We had C. Skidzy donate, Charlie Boy from Pensacola donate, Justin did, and David Bryan with donations. So thank you guys all so much for, coming in here. My next video will probably be a preview of the Colts game. We'll see. Maybe some breaking news comes out. But anyways, catch you guys later. Thanks for the birthday wishes, and I'll see you guys in my next video.